Good morning, North Star. Welcome to the Meleon Media Podcast. I am your host, Delvin McDowell, and I'm here today with my guest of honor, Sarah Cliff.
I want to first thank you for allowing me on your podcast. This is truly an honor.
Yeah. So, we have a really good question today I think you're going to love. It's going to make for a really good sort of discussion that we're having.
All right, I wonder what this could be.
Before we get into that, let's take a moment to appreciate the set design that we have here.
It's gorgeous.
Yep. It is basically my entire shelf emptied out onto a table.
You know what? If it works, it works. That's what I like to say.
Yep. Also, for anybody that likes this Elden Ring poster in the background, it won't be up there for much longer. That's going to fall at some point during this. You can already see it's falling off. So, if anybody likes the Elden Ring poster, make sure to take it in right now before it falls down. Anyways, now that we're done getting my beautiful set design out of the way, let's move on to our topic today. And I'll start with a question. Are you excited for summer?
I can't wait for summer to be cruising on my pool, driving. But first, we got to get through exams, and that's a tough one.
I'm fortunate enough to only have one exam. I know most people are not that fortunate.
Yep.
But
someone here has 3 exams.
Ooh, that is rough.
Yep.
So, now that we've established that we're all excited for summer break, we're all excited.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, do you enjoy the 2 months of break that you have off? Do you think that 2 months that you get off is a good amount of time?
I do like the 2 months we get off, right? It leaves me time to relax and to cruise, have fun, But it feels like when I'm going back to school, it's like, oh, what were we just talking about last semester, last school year? It's like I have no memory, and then we do half the semester is like literally doing a repeat of what we did last school year.
I completely agree with that, yeah. Because it does feel like when we go back to school, the first thing they say to you is, okay, we're going to start with a little bit of recap. Mm-hmm. And so even though that 2 months of break is really awesome, everybody loves it, by the time it's done, it's just, you've forgotten everything. You haven't used your brain for 2 months.
100%.
You turned your brain off, you haven't done anything, and you get back, and now you forget everything, and half your time is spent recapping. So what I personally think would be a better solution is to have, hear me out on this, all right? It's going to be a controversial take.
Controversial?
Get rid of the 2 month summer break.
Oh my God.
Get rid of it. I know. It's a steep sort of hill to climb. But in order to replace it, we'll do 1 week every month.
I actually like that idea. It feels like having 1 week every month. You go into the week, you can forget some of that knowledge. It's not useful.
Yeah, de-stress, It's
kind of veg. De-stress, 100%. And then you go back into the school week, and it's like, boom, you got it easy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like maybe you do half a day recap, and then you keep going.
Yeah, because then that way when you get into the next grade, instead of spending it recapping, you'll be able to just bounce right in and start learning more stuff. You'll get more worth out of your time at school.
100%. And those teachers that complain, oh, we're so far behind because we were recapping too long, we just eliminate that issue for them.
Exactly. It's actually better.
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple other reasons why this sort of, this 1 week break idea is actually a lot more efficient. Because we've already established that it is a de-stressor.
100%,
right?
Yes.
When you go in, there's pressure building in over the year. Mm-hmm. And every month, you don't have a good big break every month. You have two days as weekends, but it's not the most efficient thing. And then the pressure all builds up, and then you get the summer, and it collapses so hard that you just forget everything. But with that week-long break, as the pressure is building up, it gets like halfway there and collapses because you have a week off in between.
Yeah.
Every month you have a week off. It's just building pressure, collapsing, building pressure, collapsing. Without that crash of I don't want to learn anything and I want to forget everything.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Exactly. And it leaves you, I feel like, time to apply some of the stuff you learned in school into real-world situations. Because I know we like to think, oh, well, we don't learn anything useful at school. There's a lot of times, like, through my learning biology, I'm like, holy, I'm using a lot of this in my actual, in my life. And you never expect that. So I feel like having that week off, you can try to take what you learned and maybe apply it to the real world instead of just wanting to forget it and move on with your life and never think about it ever again.
Absolutely, yeah. And I definitely think, obviously, the 2 months of summer is okay. It works. It does work. It's just not the most efficient thing ever. But there's definitely some things that the 2 months of break does better that would be hard to replace. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, the summer jobs. When you have 2 months of summer for a summer job, That's 2 months of just straight. You can train your employees.
Yeah.
And, with no breaks in between. You don't have to. Sorry, the poster's starting
It's about to fall.
It's starting to fall already. Yeah. But like I was saying, the 8 weeks of summer to just sort of go through your job and work it. And that would be kind of hard to replace with a week off.
Yes, that does leave you time, the 2 months, to like maybe save up for a college fund or just for spending money. And it gives you like work experience because we're not going to be in school forever.
Yeah.
Right? We got to go maybe post-secondary and then a job. Or some people right after high school job. So this gives you like time to see what do I like with working and what don't I like with working.
Exactly. Because it's a lot of companies, especially with the 2 months of break, they do specifically just summer jobs.
Yes.
Some jobs they don't want to hire you for the rest of the year. They just want a summer job. And that's a really good sort of taste of just like, okay, you get to dip your toes into the water of work, but it's only for that 8 weeks and then you're done. So if you like the work, then maybe you could if you like the work, you can pursue something in that field later on, but you're not tied down to it.
Yeah.
That would be harder to replace with the week off because in the week, it would be 3 weeks of your month would be done at school. So you can only tell them, okay, I can work, but after school hours. And then you get the week where it's like, okay, I'm back to work, but that would be hard to schedule.
Yeah,
with the 8
it would
weeks
be
off, it's
difficult.
with 8 weeks off, your schedule's the same across the board. With the 1 week off, it's like, okay, it works, but it doesn't really. It works, but it's just less efficient.
There's always some pros and some cons.
Exactly.
Your post is like literally about to fall.
Yep. I told you, this is the last moments of beauty that it has. Drink it in. Another thing, though, this is a big one for a lot of people, is vacation.
Oh yeah, vacation.
Yes, vacation.
Yep.
Everybody loves the sound of vacation, and with this 2 months of summer off, you get to go wherever you want, right? You can go wherever you want on that vacation. You can go halfway across the world if you want.
You can go to Hawaii, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Cruising in Hawaii, that'd
be
awesome.
It's hard to do that with a week.
Yes.
And even though you get a week off every month, it is hard with just a week.
I see what you're saying, and 100% you are correct. It's just, look at the state of the world we're in. It's so hard to afford stuff.
True. Very true.
And it doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. So, in theory, 2 months to go to Hawaii or any other country would be great. But can you afford it?
That's a
And
good
a lot
question.
of people can't. A lot of people are now working over the summer, right? Because they can't afford to go on fancy vacations, right?
Yeah. So it's almost more efficient for the week in that sense too.
Yes.
Even though we started this conversation off saying that it was a pro for summer vacation to be over 2 months before the vacations.
Yes.
It actually might be more efficient, especially with the state of the economy nowadays.
Yeah.
And the financial
You're
situations of a
saving
lot
money.
of families. You're saving money.
Imagine going on a week vacation to Hawaii other than a 2 month vacation or something like that, right?
It encourage you to spend less money.
Yeah.
And get more time out of it. Experience more from it in a shorter amount of time.
Exactly. And if you like it, then you can go back there again. It's not like you're forced to stay there for 2 months, and if you hate it, you're screwed.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
and
imagine that.
It's just a way, it's a less costlier alternative.
Yes, it is.
So it's a lot less costlier, and I completely agree with that, yeah.
Yeah.
We've basically concluded the fact that there is a lot of pros and cons about this whole summer dynamic. So now we're kind of both in agreement, I at least think we're both in agreement, that the week break off every month is better. Because the 2 months of summer, what does it give you? You can go on vacation, but not a lot of families will go on a 2 month vacation. They can't afford a 2 month vacation nowadays. And definitely the one major pro of 2 months off is work. Because the summer jobs and whatnot, because they'll probably, if we changed it, if it was changed to a week off, that whole summer job dynamic would probably be thrown out.
Yeah.
Because it would be like everybody would just go back to regular jobs. And there would definitely be something made to combat that.
Yes.
Obviously there would be something made as a way to make it so that jobs can still be had by teens, even if there is not a 2 month break off.
Yeah.
But it's more efficient now.
Those companies, they'd figure something out.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
Like they're always finding out ways.
Oh,
there's
100.
always ways.
There's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. And so, I think that's pretty good. We've agreed now.
I think so, too.
I've introduced this topic to you. about how maybe we should have our school boards start maybe thinking about an ulterior motive to the 2 months of summer break, because the week-long break is more efficient for our mental health and our ability to learn.
Exactly.
We get to de-stress more often. The stress isn't building up. We get to de-stress more often, and we get to remember more as we're doing it.
Yes.
So really, I think that in terms of our education and learning, the week-long breaks every month are a better alternative to a 2-month full summer break.
Yes, and I hope that they will try a little experiment with a school district and see how well it turns out.
I think we could. Sarah, thank you so much for coming on to our podcast today.
Thanks
this
for
has
having
been
me.
an amazing thing to talk with you about.
Thank you. It's the same right back at you.
Awesome. All right. That's going to be the end of the Meleon Media Podcast for today. I've been your host, Delvin McDowell. The poster has
finally
just
fell.
fallen right on time. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.